It's RDS.
It's
RDS.
So looking at Premier League top clubs, I think very interestingly, I do not really feel so excited by Manchester United's transfers as Ore feels. In the previous
Definitely.
video, Ore said they had a 10 over 10 in management, 8.5 in talent, and I disagree, but it is what it is. So I'll start with, of course, analyzing Manchester United. I think Joshua Zirkzee is a good player, but there's no point buying a 23-year-old striker to back up a 21-year-old striker, because the 23-year-old striker is meant to move to a place where he can be the main guy. When he was at his former club, he was pretty much sort of like the main guy, and he was building himself up, and he was getting to a point where he has gotten to a point where he needs consistent football in a structured system so that he can develop and be the best he can be. Højlund also needs the same thing, right? I feel like Højlund needs the same thing in this season, and Højlund came for 70 something million, so 72 million, right? And so he is undoubtedly the number one starting striker. He even has the number 9 jersey now. So Xerxes is going to have to settle for second striker minutes, and I'm not sure that's great for his development, but the only positive I see is that he's a different kind of striker to Højlund. So he can facilitate play in a different way from Højlund, because Højlund can facilitate play in his own way, but Xerxes maybe can do that better. But I don't really see Xerxes so much as like that much of like a powerful athlete the way Højlund is. Højlund wants to take on his defender, run when there's space. Xerxes is not that guy. But let's see. Maybe he will prove me wrong. Maybe he will do well with the minutes that he gets. I mean, this season European football is going to be a lot more demanding than it's not just group stage now. It's like tables. We're going to be playing like leagues, right? Which is what they are called actually, Europa League, UEFA Champions League.
True.
So that's that with Xerxes. I think Matis De Ligt is a good signing, very good signing, because he's a strong, I think he's like 24 or 25 now. So 24. So he's coming into his own. Obviously, it would be silly to think that we have seen the best of De Ligt because he's not yet in his prime. He's definitely going to.
I agree.
Yeah, he's going to enter his prime. But the Lenioro was a reckless signing for me because of the wages. Because of the wages. I feel like the wages are excessive. 120k per week, he has done nothing to deserve it. There is no way, in my opinion, to justify giving an 18-year-old, an unproven 18-year-old 120k per week. But
sorry,
Manchester United.
What is unproven about him? Like in the way you call him unproven as an 18.
In the way I'll call him unproven in the context of the salary he is given, right? I feel like he has not done enough at the highest level to request for 120k per week and have it. Bear in mind, unless Manchester United is a dumb club, he probably even requested for more. 120k per week would have been where they had to agree at, right? He probably asked for more and they negotiated to 120k per week, and for me that's silly.
So I actually don't think he demanded more. I think.
So you think Manchester United just gave him 120k per week?
No,
Which is even worse.
We use that as a bargain. No. It's not worse because
he used
context
it
of the competition
to take his mind away from Real Madrid.
Yeah, exactly. Because you are in a competition. You're looking for bargaining chip, and then we agreed a deal with the club before the.
So that doesn't that defeat the point you just made? Because if they agreed the deal with the club already, then he had nowhere else to go because he couldn't have gone to.
No, he had though, because if he did not want to go anywhere,
he would have left for free next year.
He would have left for free next year. So you have to juice up, which is what I was trying to explain, what I have explained on Twitter, that when you are a last year of contract is a great card to play when there is no competition. But once there is competition, you can no longer play. It's no longer that big a card to pay or a leverage, because there is somebody else that is like, okay, you don't want
a far more attractive option.
A
far better club.
So you either side with the club,
a much better club.
Yes, but yeah, obviously, like Arsenal to Man U is like Man U to Madrid. So
that's before. That was years ago. In fact, that was not even years ago. That was not just years ago. That was within the space when Wenger fell off. It's not the same anymore. It's not the
Okay,
case.
when Wenger fell off. So since
Yes.
Wenger didn't fall off, what has happened? Like, don't worry, let's not go
You
there.
have also dropped
Let's
Faded
just.
Glory FC.
But
Anyways,
we
let's
were
go
at the
on.
peak. Do you get like we were at the
Lenny
peak, and then
Lenny
I become
Yoro,
loyal milk.
Lenny Yoro,
You are still Dano.
Lenny
do you get?
Yoro.
So Lenny
So
Euro.
fine, you've gotten a young
So do you
player.
get? It's a young player.
Wait, are you guys selling Lindelof?
We dey try pursue am, but it be like say nobody won't carry, and then we are trying. But now I think we just accept it because he got injured. So people came, but he got injured. I mean, I'm absolutely fine with players because they have their rights and they did not beg for their contract. We offer their contract. When you not give a player a contract, you cannot force the player out. I don't like what Chelsea is doing. I think it's wrong. I think everybody in Chelsea should know that it can happen to them. Because out of the 45 players or the 700 that they have, if you touch person, you get. So let everybody just be generous. They don't know what's happening. But I personally feel like it's a very wrong tactic. So yeah, Lenny Yoro is a future buy. It's not really about. It's like a Martial type of buy. You buy a player because you believe like in the future it will pay off, and
because you hope.
You hope, yeah. Just like Arsenal is also hoping to win the Premier League. It's all about hope. You have to believe. If you don't believe, you don't take action. So we have taken our action. We believe in Lenny Yoro. We believe in his talent, and we are backed with money. You also backing your club. You believe now. You don't believe.
You have. So I've mentioned Zexi. I've mentioned Lenny Yoro, Delete, Mazraoui. Good opportunity for 9 to 10 million pounds or 50 million euros. Versatile defender. Then Manuel Ugarte.
And it's 26.
From what we can see, who Ugarte?
Mazraoui.
Oh, Mazraoui, yes. So, nice. Manuel Ugarte. Yeah, my problem with buying Manuel Ugarte is that now I can see that your starting midfield is definitely going to be Ugarte, Kobe Mainoo, and Fernandes. Good. Kobe Mainoo is not a DM. He's a box-to-box midfielder.
Yeah.
Good. Bruno Fernandes is...
he's actually a DM by trade. Like, he played in the DM for the youth system, but it's like that Pogba thing.
His skills...
It's that Pogba thing. Do you get like that?
Observing his skills...
Get this thing.
He's a box-to-box.
Yeah, he's a box-to-box.
So, now, most likely, Ugarte is going to be the one sitting back. Mainoo will play box-to-box. Bruno will do his thing. My problem with that is that when you have that kind of setup, right, I feel like a bruiser is best used when you are using two box-to-box midfielders, right? When you have one who is more an attacking midfielder, one is a box-to-box all-rounded midfielder, the guy who is playing DM has to be somebody who has that unique ability to read the game, right? He's more intellectual about his defensive duties than he is physical, even though he's both, right?
I get what you mean.
When you look at someone like Declan Rice, contrary to popular opinion, Declan Rice actually uses his mind more than he uses his physicality and athleticism.
Yeah, you're right.
A lot of people, it's just that he looks so aggressive and so physical that a lot of people think he's just one physical demon. He is a physical demon in terms of how good he is using his body, but the timing, the ability to time where he needs to be, to predict what the opponent is going to do, to intercept or to tackle, is just so beautiful. And Manuel Ugarte doesn't really have that. Manuel Ugarte is more of a chase down the opposition and try to win the ball. I think he would have fit perfectly. He would have been a solid option for Klopp in the era when Klopp was playing Wijnaldum and Henderson as the two box-to-box CMs. So I mean, that's the way I see Manuel Ugarte. I remember when we played Sporting 2 years ago, Manuel Ugarte was a problem because he was just chasing down everybody and just tackling everybody. And I think in that game, Partey was unavailable. I've forgotten who played. I have to go back and check again. But that game, he troubled us in the midfield and he made many fouls. He does that. So he's not a clean DM. So it's still going to put
it's not the cleanest.
It's still going to put some burden on Kobe Mainoo and of course on whoever the two centre backs are to try to ease that pressure. But yeah, that's why I don't personally don't think Manchester United have had such a great window. If I would rate your window over 10, I would say you've had a 7 over 10.
Yeah. 7 over 10 in work is It's actually
Wait, let me finish the other clubs before you.
Okay, no problem.
You do your defense when you do your own club. That's Manchester United. Manchester City. We all hate Manchester City
What did they?
because they bought Savinho and Gundogan, and it looks like they've not done anything, but they've done so much because now they have 1-on-1 versus 1v1 demons on the wings who can play both sides. Doku and Savinho, problem. Then he can also say he wants to do technical winger and play
Silva,
Grealish and Foden or Silva.
Bob.
And Bob. Oh my God, they still have Oscar Bob.
Gundogan.
So Gundogan is back. So now their midfield depth, they have Rodri, they have Kovacic, they have Gundogan, they have Kevin De Bruyne, and they still have Matheus Nunes. He's still there. So
Even though I think somebody said an offer for him. He might leave.
Let's see. He might leave on deadline day. Let's see. But they have. Oh, by the way, I actually thought it would have been smart for them to keep Liam Delap as the backup to Haaland.
He had left now. He had left.
They just sold him to Ipswich. That's what I'm saying. They should have kept him, seeing as they don't have a backup for Haaland. But they're looking to get a backup.
Rates himself.
They want to buy one. There's one. I've forgotten where the boy is from. I think he's from Denmark or something.
Denmark, yeah. It's from Denmark.
Yeah, I've forgotten his name. So let's see. Man City.
Their name. Yeah, I think they will still get.
Man City have a good. They still have a good window. No, one. Pep said one. They just want to get a backup for. They want to get a backup for this brother, for Haaland, and that's all. So that is for Manchester City. For Tottenham Hotspur, solid window. I will give Manchester City's window. I'll give them an 8/10 because they're not lacking and they've added. So that's Manchester United. I gave Manchester City.
I don't think they they did not add. Did you get what I mean? Add.
They were not lacking.
Yet they added. They lost some players actually. They lost
Manchester City.
Yeah.
The major they lost Julian Alvarez, but it was never really like a big deal for them anyways.
It was backup, but yeah. They lost Alvarez. It was Alvarez.
Yeah, but they're also bringing in backup.
Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm. So I will give them Anyways, I'll give Manchester United an 8/10, right? Because the state of the squad and then the signings they made, they're in a good state. Tottenham Hotspur, they brought in Timo Werner, who is not always necessarily a goal threat, but is a threat in the sense of
like a fly.
He's a threat. He's a dangerous player because he can get the ball in dangerous areas for the other people who are goal threats. They also brought in Archie Gray, wonder kid. I don't think he will be a huge hit immediately.
I wanted that guy to
ease him in.
We already have a wonder kid.
They have to ease him in. But yeah, they bought Archie Gray, they bought Dominic Solanke, and then they sold Eric Dyer in January. They sold Pierre-Emile Olberg, and I thought that was quite a crazy move. They sold Oliver Skip and Emerson Royal as well, and this Brian Gilboy. But they did bring in Dominic Solanke, and that's good for them because now they have an out-and-out striker who can offer them something different from when Richarlison plays as a striker. I don't think Son should be striking. He should remain at the wings. So Tottenham are still strong. They are still dangerous. I think they had the 7/10 window, to be honest.
I just remember that miss that gave me so much joy. Like, what is Son?
In an alternate universe, Arsenal would currently be going for 3 in a row.
Yeah. It's very
unfortunately.
That's like a fourth multiverse. It's like it go really far.
But this is the universe we live in. It is what it is. I'll give Tottenham a 7/10 because their midfield is not really lacking much. They still have Pepe Matesa, they still have Bissouma, they still have Bentancur. Now they've added Archie Gray. So the depth is not too crazy, but it's still good. So I'll say they had a 7/10 window. So I've done United, City, and Spurs. Now Liverpool. Liverpool have only signed 2 players. That Georgian keeper.
Yeah, nobody keeper.
Mamashvili, or I don't know, the name is
I
weird.
do not.
And then
I just know the keeper. I don't know his name.
yes, Giorgio, I think. And then Federico Chiesa, where
Okay,
I think they needed
Chiesa is the
help. Yes, where I think they needed help, they didn't get. So,
midfield.
for example, up for the attack, for the left, they have Luis Diaz there. They have now they have Federico Chiesa there. On the right, Federico Chiesa can also be back up to Salah. Striking, they have Gakpo and Nunes. They have Jota. So the attack is stacked. The defense is also quite solid. But that midfield is very, Arne Slot has to figure out what his starting midfield is going to be. And I think that's where he's going to have issues, because he has no DM. So honestly, so far, I'll give Liverpool's window a 5/10, because I didn't even think they needed this goalkeeper. Alisson is still in his best years.
But I think it's
I was wondering why.
I think it's
Future. 30 million euros for future signing, no problem.
No, because like Alisson is leaving. Do you get like he's leaving? It was an opportunity.
He's leaving.
Like, so next.
Actually, Alisson is leaving. Van Dijk is leaving. Salah is leaving. Trent Alexander-Arnold is leaving.
That's why I said my wild card. My wild card.
Liverpool next season
is that they can, no, this season. Like this season, they can make it. They can try to make it like a grand exit type thing, but let's see how it goes. They've done 2 in 2. Let's see if they can do 38 in 38.
I'll give them a 5/10 thus far. Then we'll go Chelsea.
They could have done better.
Initially, I was actually Chelsea was gonna get like a 3/10 or a 4/10 from me, but now they've yes, because they brought in McGill, they brought in Renato Viega, they brought in this Dewsbury Hall boy from Leicester City. I'm like, what are these guys doing? Then they sold Conor Gallagher, literally forced out somebody who was supposedly their vice captain, But then they brought in Pedro Neto, they brought in Joao Felix, and then we've seen the what's it called now? The reports of them making a late move for Ivan Toney and or Victor Osimhen. Well, it's going to be or. Is either they get Toney or Osimhen. I don't think they'll get Osimhen, because Osimhen has received a proposal from Al Ahly worth £625,000 per week. 625k per week. Yes, 120 million for 4 years, which comes down to about 625k per week. I'm sure his relatives are already pricing land in Banana Island as we speak. And blowing up his phone.
Banana.
Take that deal.
I think Banana is an underestimation. They are
right?
Probably in other countries.
In other countries, They
never even price house work.
The list in their family now will be greater than the.
How much are we finished?
Anyways,
but yeah, it's a solid stuff for them.
They have solid players. They are selling. They are selling. They haven't sold it, but they are selling Ben Chilwell, which means they will use left back Kukureya, and I don't know who else will be their second left back, because they're in Conference League, so they've already started playing their own European games. And have they started? Yes, they started. They started already.
They decided. They went to Obumasho last week.
So they signed McGill, striker. They have Nicholas Jackson, striker, and now they still want to get Ivan Toney or Victor Osimhen. I think they'll eventually get Ivan Toney, although Ivan Toney also has an offer from Saudi League, so they might end up not getting.
I saw a report that is making him a priority.
Yeah, so if they get that would be crazy, because they can literally start a game with Jackson up top, Mudryk, Palmer, Madueke, and then they will change all four. Change to Felix, Nkunku, Neto, and Tony, and that's mad. So I would say their striking signings, their attacking signings have given them a 6/10, but their defensive signings, they signed so many goalkeepers, so many unnecessary goalkeepers.
I felt they wanted to. Doing.
And
they don't have vision.
Exactly.
So why buy
now they signed? You want to sign a centre back? Why not go and look for some of the established guys in Europe? Why not go and buy a Delete? Why not go and buy a Jonathan Tah? If you want to even buy someone that is not so high up there but upcoming, go and buy Tapsoba from Bayer Leverkusen. Go and buy Todibo from OGC Nice, who are a decent season.
Silva from Portugal.
Go and buy Silva from Portugal. Go and buy that Antonio Silva, right? Yes.
Silva,
Go and buy Antonio
buy
Silva from
Diomande.
Portugal. Go and buy Diomande. Go and buy boys that actually have some, some level, But
The
it is what it is.
problem-
They bought.
The problem with this
Adarabioyo.
Chelsea team, just scream. The pastor, that guy looks like a youth pastor. I actually feel like his vibes are very strong.
And you know the funny thing,
Does he even
start for them? Does he even start for them?
So
now they have Fofana, they have Colwill, they have Disasi, they have Badiashile, and they have Tosin Adarabioyo.
The problem
And they have
with this
Renato
Chelsea
Viega
team-
as well.
The problem with this Chelsea team is very simple. They are stacked with players that are not fit. They cannot move the players out. They cannot trust the players to play consistently. So, for instance, Colwill came for how much? It was a big money signing. Fofana came for...
Colwill?
Yes.
No.
Colwill is their player.
It was their player. They loaned him to Brighton.
Did they loan him and buy him back?
They had a
sell him
buyback
and
clause,
buy-
I think.
Yes, so they used the buyback to bring, I think, it was 40 million or something like that.
Yeah.
They bought Wesley Fofana for how much? Like 80 million or something like that.
It was a big money signing then.
Do you get big money signing? They signed Badiashile for like another 35 or something. So
yeah.
you can see that, and Disasi too was in the same range. So you have so many big money signings, and they're either getting injured or not fit. So just like Manchester United now with our left back situation, we can't sell. We can't sell these two left backs that are not fit, but we can also just go and buy another left back and have 3 left backs in the team. So those are the issues that they are trying to manage, because they are now even doubling down. So now there's like a Johnny Bravo team, Johnny Bravo shaped team. The attack is so buff, the legs are so thin. But at the end of the day, what they would really need to do is that they would need to find stability. They are selling Kepa to Bournemouth, I think. So
here we go. Has already been confirmed.
They're trying to reduce that, but I think the main problem that they have as a team is that they don't have leadership. There's too many players that are not experienced at the highest level with track record, that there is really nobody to look up to when things go south. And that is their biggest problem. I thought that they would go for, and now see, they cannot even keep the most, in quote, experienced person, which is probably Gallagher. With the club, to get experience with the club, a leader figure.
And Reece James is always injured, so you can't look there for.
So, leadership-wise, they are lacking. However, I must say that they are sharp. And if they
they still have Armando Broja. Has that one gone anywhere?
No, they are selling him. They're trying to sell him to Ipswich. I think the deal failed, but people are waiting on the sidelines to grab him.
Deadline day.
But the problem is that they have players that are not always available. If they can fix that, I think that the sky is the limit. But I understand why they cannot just go and sign. Do you get? Because like,
if they can fix that, they'll be back among the
top
contenders,
top 4, even possibly even contenders, to be very honest.
Anyways,
So,
I'll give them a 5/10. If Maresca is able to establish his style and know his squad, I give them a 5/10. They'll have the potential to do well. I think in my prediction I put them at 6th. So
and to be honest, is a steep expectation to know your team when you have 45 players.
Yeah, but he knows the 20-something he wants to work with. He says
that's what he's
find
telling himself. That's what he's telling himself. He'll be fine.
Now to Arsenal, the classiest club in the whole of England, club with richest culture. Anyways, Arsenal, we have sold Emil Smith Rowe, we have sold Eddie Nketiah, we have also, there's one other player we sold. We sold Sambi Lokonga. We also, there's one other player that I'm not. We're also selling Ramsdale. Ramsdale is going to Southampton for 25 million.
Vieira.
And we've loaned out Fabio Vieira. And who did we sign? We signed, we made David Raya permanent. We signed Riccardo Calafiori. And then now we have confirmed the sign of Mikel Merino. I think right now, as it is, if I was to rate the current window, I would say it's a 6.5. And the reason why I would give it a 6.5 is because comparing the state of the squad prior to now and the state of the squad now, with what we need to do. This is not the season to try anything. This is the season to do it. So the expectation is that you have looked at what you need and you make sure that there is no point in the season where you are lacking anything. Defensively, we are set. We know we are there, right? Our defense is mad, and we've now added Calafiori. Last season, Timber got injured, unfortunately. This season, we have multiple options, quality options in defense, people who can play several positions, and that's great, right? Midfield, I think we're also solid, even though loaning out Fabio Vieira was not the best option. But considering the fact that A, Odegaard is the captain, B, he's always fit, he hardly ever gets injured, and C, we have Ethan Nwaneri, whom the club rates very highly and want to give chances to because mentally he's there and physically he's also there. And physically, Fabio Vieira wasn't really impressive in terms of his physicality. I can understand why they loaned him, and I know that the club has plans for Fabio Vieira still because there was no clause for buying at all. It's just a dry loan. Let him go, get minutes, get confidence, get stronger, whatever. So the midfield is still good. Problem now is up front. I believe that this season, Kai Havertz, I've been saying this since last season, since the way last season was going towards the end. I said Kai Havertz should be our starting striker because he has proven that as a striker, he has 15 goals and assists, 15 GA in 13 starts as a striker for Arsenal. And that's crazy. Stuff. And that was in a season where he was still rebuilding his confidence. So how much more this new season where he is now confident, he's settled in the squad and all of that. He already scored. First goal of the season.
Fantastic.
Good. Now, I figured, okay, we can't sell Gabriel Jesus.
You can't?
It's hard to sell him. We want to. I would love for them to sell him because he's unfit. If he's fit, he has a lot to offer. But he's not. So what I wanted was actually a versatile winger. I wanted a Federico Chiesa.
Oh, for
a
real?
winger
who can play?
Yes.
Okay, but not
a Federico Chiesa. So obviously the first choice was Nico Williams. Nico Williams was the player we all wanted at Arsenal. All the fans wanted him, and credible reports show that he's top on the list for Arteta. But obviously his wage demands are too high. He wants about 250K.
That was the problem.
That's the problem. Yeah, he wants 250K.
I get.
And we just signed really? He didn't last season. He didn't score up to 10 goals in the league. In La Liga.
It's the hype.
He didn't have up to 5 assists.
You like what you saw at Euros.
So that's the thing. So he's meant to be humble. He should be humble. Take like 100 and something. When you now want to upgrade your contract, you now get that 250. Because if we sign him at 250 and he flops, we can't sell him.
So the problem, this is the thing about contracts. When you want to sign a player and the player is hot, you must know that as the player they hot, he get hot expectations. Because it's not just about you. He's not sacrificing himself for you. There's alternative. Barcelona can give him 280. You now say, come, let's build your career. You say, and you now say you want to give him like a 180K 5-year deal. Why don't you give me a 180K 2-year deal? Let me know that after that in 2 years finish, you go upgrade them, because contracts are like safety for the players. You get? So when a player is signing a contract, he needs to know that by the 3rd year in that contract, if the money that he's collecting will not be something that is, you get, like, especially with the trajectory of the player. If you're signing,
they won't be looking back and regretting.
You won't be looking back. You get, or somebody else will not come and be trying to peddle contract in front of him. Do you get, like, for instance, now Kopumeno, immediately this window closes, they're going to renew his contract. Giving, because like they know what the player can become, they know what he is already. He's going to get.
I mean, I hear that. I understand the whole concept of the hype.
Yeah,
I get it, but I think it would mess up our wage structure.
Yeah, it doesn't
affect
work
our
with
future signings.
your microfinance
stuff. That's why. If you like, now why on the suffer now? You're going to get players who you know if you sell.
Don't worry. We can afford it.
It's why we've stalled on the deal. Personally, if I was to draw up my list, I would have said, if you can't get Nico Williams, bring Ademola Lookman. Bring Lookman.
Lookman, you go pay this thing too.
You pay almost 50 million.
You pay 200.
No, which kind 200? No.
You're competing with PSG.
Well, so PSG, okay, fine, fair. I wanted the options of Nico Williams or Ademola Lookman. No, no please. I wanted Nico Williams, Ademola Lookman. You know what's funny? There's another player I would take as well. I would take
Sterling.
Serge Gnabry. Stay waiting.
Gnabry.
Sterling call.
Omo,
Euros.
you will pay top dollar for Gnabry now.
Not necessarily.
Omo,
I
your
think,
wage
he renewed
structure
this
go
contract. He renewed this contract. He renewed this contract.
Your wage structure will break. You want to
Anyways,
eat,
I just wanted a player that can play the two wings.
So you either do potential.
Because
there's one guy
no,
in
I
championship
don't want
that said
potential.
that. So
I
that's
want
the truth.
now.
If you want now,
But if I was to get
you pay pro
potential,
now.
if I was to get potential, I would have gone for Simon Adingra.
Oh, that's good. You can get that one for
That's a
100K,
good player. Yeah.
120K.
You know, so right now, the way the window is, if the window ends like this, it is underwhelming because here, once we sell Ramsdale, we're going for this Espanyol's goalkeeper, Johan Garcia. But that's not a first impact signing. It's not moving the needle in any way. We need a winger that ensures that Saka does not die on the line. We need a winger that also ensures that if Martinelli is off form or Trossard is injured, this person can also play on the left, can play on the right, and can contribute adequately to our attack. Can bring that X factor. That the game is locked. We need someone that will trouble people and break the defensive line. So if we're able to get that on deadline day, I've seen credible reports that we have the desire to do the deal. But I also know that Arsenal will not do the deal just because. They will only do the deal if it makes perfect sense for them, wages wise, finance wise, and then the players' ability blending in with the team and with the squad. But we have sold Eddie Nketiah. So as it is now, we have a gap in the attack that I believe Arteta knows. Last year, he said, we don't have a player that can score 30, 40 goals a season. Okay, so that means we are looking for one. You can't hope to topple the behemoth that is Manchester City and Guardiola if you don't get some more goals. We scored 91 goals last season, and that's great. But we have to be looking to do
not a lot from open play.
Not a lot from open play. So we need to be able to break down teams and get goals, regardless of how the situation goes, regardless of the players that play. So right now, if we end the season like this, I'll give the window like this. I'll give us a 6/10. But if we get, I also saw reports that an unnamed Premier League club is looking into Kingsley Coman. If it is Arsenal, I'm excited to see. He gets injured a lot, but the few games that will be available,
numbers are underwhelming.
But he's 1v1 demon. Just give me 1v1
problem. 1v1 demon.
Just break through the defense and cross ball inside. Let chaos ensue from there. And
I personally feel like if Arsenal they don't get into the main season with like an out striker. Like I get Kai Havertz hope. I get that he's a great guy. He's a fantastic talent. He's speaking. But I feel like Kai Havertz is possible to lock down if you decide to lock him down, because he needs a peculiar opportunity sometimes. On those his dry spells, he needs like space, or it's just like it's not a dependable source.
But the problem. No. I disagree with you because
I get your faith.
If you choose to lock down Kai Havertz, the problem, you have to attach a defender to him. Once you do that, his runs and the defender that follows him will open space for someone else, and that is always the way.
But this is the thing, that he doesn't have the experience of a CF. The experience of a CF is why you have somebody like a Haaland, that even though he's not good on the ball, if you give him half chance, he slices you into two. So you need those kind of killers. But he doesn't have to be the killer. Maybe he's the person that opens the way for the killer. But I feel like there's much to be desired without getting that, which you already said. So
yeah, over to you.
Okay,
analyze their windows and then give your over 10 ratings.
Let's quickly run through. I think Liverpool, I understand that people want them to sign DMs and sign certain midfielders, but I think that with the type of system that the manager is trying to put into play, he wants to see like what he can do with what he has. which is very good in your first year as a manager. It shows that you have it buys you time, and you also like you gather you build cohesion because like everybody's familiar. You play with the same squad, that kind of thing. So it helps. So I get the upside. And the downside is that no depth. If one injury, two injuries come, you're in trouble. That I think. I don't know if Liverpool are they in Europe?
Yes, they finished in top 4.
Oh, top 4. Okay, so
They
that
finished third. They finished third. Yeah.
So they will actually need some additional hands. But I know that he knows his starting midfield. Starting midfield is McAllister, Gravenberch, and Dominic Soboslai. And I get that he's trying to create a creative structure. It's just the depth that is the problem. I think they could have done well with an additional midfielder. So if I want to rate them in the window, I'll probably give them like a 4 because they did not really add and they've been selling a OLX, sell it. How old are you? 18, sell it. How old are you? 20, sell it. You guys, so it's really sad, but even the people that they compared to Kobe Mino, sell it. Send them out. I say, oh, interesting. So it's giving evangelism, which is exactly what we need to send them out there. So I wouldn't say that they've done really great in the window. Chelsea, I think Chelsea have had, Oliver, I beg. I think Chelsea have they've added really solid technical ability going forward. Like I said, it's a Johnny Bravo structure. It's a bit of a problem, but they have a lot of defenders that are not fit. If they can get the fitness right, they won't need additional legs. But they've not had them in a long time, such a long time. Like Colwill, all of them, they've been injured a lot. So, like the fullback that you were asking that they don't have, they have the Vega guy to cover because he also plays as a fullback.
Does he? He's more of a centre back or DM?
Yeah, he's a midfielder, but he can do all that all over the place.
Okay.
So I get what they are trying to play on, but I think Chelsea fans are waiting for more. If they can get a striker in, I think their attack would probably be the most dangerous and exciting in the league. Like if it clicks, if you no click, it will probably be the most disappointing in the league. So it's high risk, high nonsense. So anyone that works for them, I'm happy for them. So if I want to rate their window, I think Drewsbury is a good player. It's like Mount. A good player can play some roles, but you don't know if there will be enough space for him to actually show that his strength because like it's not better than your starter. It's not better than your starter, but he's a good backup. So he's a good addition to the squad, that type of thing. So if I want to rate their window, I'll probably give them like a 7 out of 10.
For Chelsea?
Yeah, Chelsea. The reason why I'm doing that is because they couldn't have actually. So there's realistic addition. They should just add. So Liverpool can add a midfielder, but they've not added. Chelsea cannot add multiple defenders because they have defenders. Like if you literally look at their squad, so do you have space versus do you want to? Obviously you want to, but do you have the space? You don't have the space. They have about 4-5 CBs already. How many do you want to have in it?
5.
Do you get like how many do you want to actually have for a CB? You have, and look at the age of the guys. Look at their value. It's very high. We already mentioned 4 players that he just signed over the past, like in the past 18 months. So what do you want to do? Sell them and then sell another one. It's a difficult one. Do you get? So I totally get the context. So if it goes well for them to be great, if it doesn't, problem. Liverpool, they also need a CB, actually. But they may sign CB. I don't know.
Oh, by the way, somebody, I think Crystal Palace is trying to make a deadline day bid for Joe Gomez. So Liverpool will be very light in centre back.
They actually need the CB thingy. But they will face it, really. Then you come to Manchester United. Manchester United and Liverpool, they have something similar. People are expecting them to add in a particular way. And I've said it in before that our generation is very possessional driven, control. Like we lean towards possessional control when we are thinking of a midfield structure. So, like for instance, I like the example you gave of a Liverpool Klopp midfield. I think that type of midfield is what Ten Hag is trying to build. It's the same type that this guy is also trying to build. What's his name? Slots. That's the same type of midfield that they are building, because they are not possessional driven teams. They are more transitional, counter, attack. Like it's just direct to ball. So they don't really need Arsenal type structural midfield or City type structural midfield, even though they're the downsides, but they're also the upsides. Like for instance, United has had one of the highest XG in the past 2 games. We've also missed the most chances. The second biggest chances, like since the beginning of the season in 2 games, which is one of the reasons why we need to be more effective in front of goal. That's our biggest problem. And problem is that our striker is injured. And the other striker, thank God he has scored. I'm very optimistic about him. But people don't know that he got injured for Bologna towards the end of last season and did not play a preseason in this preseason. So his fitness is why he's not starting games. But by after Liverpool international break, he'll be back with full fitness. And I know that Manchester United, they're having PTSD of last season's injury crisis. So if you watch, people, they complain, why did they remove Bruno? They are scared. Because at halftime, Mount carry injury. Ten Hag say, Bruno is the only 10 I have in this team after this guy. When you come off. He say, why will you remove me? If you carry injury, who are going to use? So there are different things that the club is optimizing for, that players don't want to fans don't want to just get the context. They just want to say, just like Chelsea fans now, buy a defender. They don't know that. Look at your books. Like, don't just think in isolation. Like, for instance, Arsenal is still recovering from the heavy purchase of Declan Rice financially. Like, people, it's such a rare situation for Arsenal to go all out and buy a kind of player at that kind of price point. Before 115 million euros, their previous signing was 75. You get, like, see the jump. They're going to need at least one more window to get, and they also did, what was his name? Kai Havertz. Which is another big money. So, like, they are recovering from that. So there's the context and there's the expectation. But you cannot just have expectation without context. You get context, very important. So Manchester United, in the context of Manchester United, I totally understand what they're trying to do. I think I see the vision clearly, because you will not believe it, but Kobe Mainoo has the most duels. There are top 3 duels in so far this season, over the past 2 games. Duels and I think dribbles. So Kobe Mainoo is, and before it wasn't like that. Like, not that it wasn't like that, but he was young. He hadn't grown in his body to jump into a duel, but now he can. So they need a sweeper that will clear road and give to the people that can build. And that thing that you said about having 2 8s, I have a feeling that we're going to be having Bruno in not just an isolated 10 type role. More as a B2B. If you watch the City game, you would have seen it. When we beat them in the FA Cup, you would have seen that Bruno was coming in from the deep, like throwing long balls for Rashford and Garnacho, and so there will be a lot of different playing around. I'm very excited about the season, because I know that now we have the flexibility and the tactical options. Like, you have Mount for Bruno, you have Højlund for Zexi, you have Garnacho and Ahmad, you have Anthony and Rashford, so first off, we have options. We did not have options because of injuries. So first off, we are building the squad. So I'm very excited, actually. Defensively, we actually have defenders. People don't know what it means for Evans to be the most, for Casemiro to play CB. You don't realize how much chaos that is till now, when it's 80th minute, they fear. I say nobody should injure. It's not even conceding I'm worried about is that if this guy injured, he go out 1 month, there's nobody that will do this ticket. So there's a lot of recovery that the club is going through. So like I said previously, I think this is a transitional season for Manchester United. And by next summer, we're going to get midfield reinforcements. Fingers crossed we get Adam. But just a bit more fleshing out. But this season, I know we're going to be exciting football and I know it's going to be really good. I gave our window already an 8.5. I think it was a fantastic window. Ineos, they've done a very good job and they've gotten even young stars. So if Casemiro gets injured, we have Koilia, we have the new DM from Mali. We have the right winger from Crystal Palace. We have the Arsenal Obi Martin. You know the guy. You know the guy now, Obi.
Which guy?
Obi Martin.
Oh.
Yeah. So just solid talent that people were excited about and had dreams
I pity
about.
you.
but don't worry, this is not our first rodeo. We signed a lot of players in that age group with the hopes that they make it. Like for instance, Garnacho was actually stolen from Madrid, one of the Madrid clubs. People don't know. But we signed him from at 16, 17. And now Garnacho is everywhere. People don't know that he was stolen. So hopefully we can do the same thing with Obi. Yes, we've rewritten our Mikel Obi story. So, but yeah, it's really exciting. So for City, I already rated our transfer window. For City, I think that City, they still need some signings, to be very honest. I think they need one midfielder. I think they need another attacker. The midfielder is because I'm seeing talk of Nunes leaving, but they have a very solid youth base. There are some strange names that I've seen or heard about. They played against Barcelona in their preseason. So exciting times, to be very honest. I would say exciting times for City. Not so good news for us now, but it is what it is. If you want to be champion, you beat champion to be champion. If not, you go chop Dano or Lawyer or Hope, as has been the case. But yes, so it is what it is. What else have I not spoken about?
Tottenham.
No, that person. Tottenham. Like I like their business. They might not have all the experience now, but I'm surprised they sold Skip. Very surprised they sold Skip.
Well, I mean, it wasn't an important player for them, anyways. So,
yeah, but it was depth that they needed. They sold Højbjerg too.
Yes, they sold Højbjerg to.
Do you get so like Atletico? I think.
Forgotten.
It's Atletico.
No, not
so,
Atletico.
Yeah, you get so. I was surprised, but I understand. I just hope that they don't have that same situation of last season when they didn't have.
They sold him to Marseille on loan.
Okay, I just hope they don't have that same situation of last season where they get injuries and then they cannot manage. But solid window also, I think I'll give them like a 7 also because of like Achigre. I really rated Achigre. I really wanted him. Future, present, solid. And then the other guy, Berger, something of Bergval, solid profile. I would have wanted him, but I understand.
You want everybody.
No. I just like some players. It's preference. But yeah, they signed 2 18-year-olds, 1 19-year-old. So you can tell that they're building for the future. I think they will try to build up on last season's performance. So really exciting times. I think the competition is stiff. Flop of the season. It's a dicey one. I don't know what the flop of the season will be because I struggle to think in a negative for players because I actually see their ability outside of like the context. But I think the best signing.
Most underrated.
I think most underrated would be Mazarawi. I think most underrated would be Mazarawi. Yeah, because why would I call him underrated? Because the cost versus the output would be a stark difference.
That's fair.
You'd be like,
fair.
Do you get like just the same underrated also possibly Kesa because like he's coming like a nobody, but people don't like. It's not like you see the price and like, oh my god, mad. Sign of the season. For my club, I think delete. I think delete or Ugati. Yeah. Sign of the season
All right.
all over.
For
It's a hard
me,
one.
I think signing of the season, underrated signing of the season is going to be between two players. I have two options. I think Eddie Nketiah to Crystal Palace is going to take a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah,
I think he's going
the
to do really
quality.
well, especially the setup of Crystal Palace. They'll play Ebere Eze, and Daichi Kamada on the sides of Eddie
No, those
Nketiah,
ones
not
are
as
going to be
wingers, but
so good.
as attacking midfielders, and then they play 3-4-3. So I think that's going to be really solid for them. Eddie Nketiah for Crystal Palace is my number one pick for signing of the season. My number two pick for signing of the season, the signing that most people will be like, yo, this kid is really good, is Freddie Kadioglu for Brighton.
That's good. Very good.
That guy is really good. He also plays left and right. He's
He
actually
plays
the
everywhere.
defender I wanted. For flop of the season,
I also wanted him for my left back, but
yeah, guy's pretty good. Flop of the season, I actually have quite a strange pick. I actually think that the flop of the season is very likely going to be, and not for any reason other than the fact that I don't think he is really the same guy he used to be. Are you ready?
Who's that?
Gundogan.
Gundogan.
Yes. I think I tried to watch a couple
Vini
of games.
Gundo Gundogan.
I feel like the physicality that is required is not there like that anymore. To be fair,
to start now.
that's another thing. I feel like he's not going to bring as much as City fans are thinking. Oh my God, Gundogan is coming back. Like, he's 34 years old. He's 34. Age catches up to everybody. The only two people that I've seen that can look at age and say to hell with you, I'm still gonna play. Are James Milner, Lewandowski. Okay, third person, Ashley Young, because Ashley Young doesn't even look like he's as old as he is. True. I don't think Gundogan is going to be so amazing. I also doubt that Ross Barkley is going to be anywhere near as great as he was at Luton Town with Aston Villa. So those are my picks for possible flop of the season. Not flop, but just overrated in terms of the hype that their signing came with and what I think they will bring at the end of the day. I think Ross Barkley is going to struggle to establish himself as a first-team player for Aston Villa. I think that he won't really hit the same levels he hit at Luton Town. I think Gundogan will play some games, but won't be as impactful as many City fans are hoping or many rival fans are expecting. I think it's going to be more of the mentality aspect that he brings to the dressing room. And I understand why on a free transfer, there's no reason not to snap that up. I get the thinking from City on that. But man, I expect Kadioglu to blow up the league. I'm also hoping if Matt O'Reilly comes back from his injury well, I expect him to do very well as well for Brighton. And then I'm looking forward to seeing how well Guido Rodriguez goes on at West Ham. So yeah, that's it for me.
When I think of, I'm looking at, I can't really. I'm trying to think of who I would pick for signing of the season.
You already said for your club, Mazraoui.
Yeah, for my club, definitely. I feel like there are some quiet gems that we signed that people are like, but and then one of the biggest advantages that we have is the familiarity. So like we're signing players that have played in that before. I feel like there's an X factor there, but
fair
they are all familiar with the system. They know what they're going to do already. But obviously, Dutch football or whatever or wherever they did it is very different from here. But in terms of signing of the season, it's hard though, because I'm not trying to remember who will fall into that. I for the best league, best in transfer window, I think is between West Ham, Brighton, and West Ham.
Brighton spent a lot of money.
Villa. Who is that?
Brighton spent a lot of money.
But they did. I was so surprised.
Almost
But
200.
it's their normal star now. They'll
True.
just go and sign. You not gonna know the guy.
Another
You
dark
catch your team.
horse in the league. So I have 3 clubs that I think will surprise everybody and push for top 6: West Ham, Villa, and Newcastle. I think those 3 clubs are going to be very, 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 very dangerous, and everybody has to look out for them.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's
I really like Calafiori, but I don't think he will have
Calafiori.
the
Big Cala.
opportunity. I don't think he will have the opportunity to. No, wait. I don't think So because of the hunger that your coach is going for, then what happens to City players will happen to your players, especially in defense, where he has to rotate and rotate and rotate, and you say this guy will play, and then you do see the XI. It will be somebody else. Just naturally, it happens when you stack players like that in defense.
I personally don't think when Ateta cuts a player, he has a plan for the player. And
No, the player will play.
Calafiori for 1 year.
Do you get the player will play? It's not the player will not play. He will play, but I don't think
right now he's our left back. He's going to become the left back.
I doubt. I think Timber is ahead of him for setting.
Timber.
No, don't
Timber
worry.
Left back is an option for some games. Last season, Ben White played an obscene number of games. In fact, towards the end of the season, his fitness started showing that this guy is tired, but he keeps pushing on. So Ben White and Timber will rotate that right back. That left back, it is going to be what's his name? Calafiori. Zinchenko will play some games as well because he progresses ball like nobody else, and his technique is still there, just as a defensive liability. But Tomiyasu is on.
So look at the options the options that you have mentioned. You realize how Calafiori will not play like games like what's his name, Mazarawi. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because there's competition and
no. Well, maybe we'll see.
Do you get
we'll see with what Ateta does. But personally, I don't think that Calafiori, when he came on against Aston Villa, bruh, don't even worry. See,
no, man, I like him.
I actually
like him. I wanted
Timber
him.
is going to have to go and face Ben White. That's where he's going to go and face, because all his strengths are there. He cannot invert on the left-hand side like Zinchenko, and as good as he can be on that left back position, he can't hold it down because he can't really use his left to play forward. He can't really use his left to charge forward. He can do that on the right, but not on the left. So I think he's going to go and face Ben White, and then left back will be Calafiori, Zinchenko, and then when Tomiyasu comes back, he'll play.
Okay, so I think signing of the season, I will go with there's this guy that just moved to. I'm trying to look at the ESR at Fulham.
Smith Rowe, good call.
I think ESR would really make his presence known at.
Good call.
And he's already started scoring already for them. He scored his debut goal. Not debut goal, but he scored. So I think that's a very exciting possibility. Other players that other special mention, I think Minte, the guy at Brighton.
I don't know much about him, so I can't really judge.
Well, the guy showed us Pepe. I say, what's this kind of human being is this? Really showed us Pepe. I think Sinisterra is a good mention, but it's Premier League. You can come with your dreams and aspirations. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm very excited.
As am I. So, all right, this is where we bring this episode to an end. Our predictions. Lucky, you can put yours in the comment section.
João Felix, maybe. Maybe.
I think you will do good stuff, but nothing crazy. But let's see. Maybe.
Let's see. That's what Palmer. That's what Palmer too come like this. Give everybody.
Woo, that was a shocker. My name remains Tomiwa and Ore. Gunners for life.
Orelu Ashun just
Red Devil
supporting the best club in England.
No, say the Red Devil with your full chest.
Once a red, always a red.
The rest of our video, we made a pact with the devil. Pact with the devil.
No,
hey God.
Now why we don't sign Matthias, sign Emmanuel, sign Joshua? You seal it. Cover it with blood. Even Euro now,
All right.
Christian.
Even who?
Euro
now waiting.
better Christian. You don't say Jesus Christ. I say my boy. Post December. Don't worry. You go see. Coming with full force.
All right. Catch you guys on the next episode.
Yes, guys.
Yeah.
Rightly dividing football.
Rightly dividing football.
Rightly dividing football.